Should be coming now.
We're back live on YouTube. Unfortunately, we cannot use the SportsCam app, so bear with us. We'll not have a icon in the left-hand corner giving the score, but Joe should be back here with commentary.
We don't need to.
You're back.
Oh, yeah. Knutson in the corner near side. 1-1 game, 14:08 left in the second. And it's forced around by Brigman. Lakeville North coming back opposite way. And it's forced back in by McNee. Boards picked up by Collins. Collins around the net. And that's going to be iced all the way down. And it's going to be on dull rep, so no ice. Back to the point. Tip on Choi. And Schuler battling near side corner. Up to Collins. Collins forces out. Collins gets checked on the way. No call. And Telejohn pressuring. Gallrap pushes to the side. Holly battles behind the net. John Shoy helping out. Telejohn looking to put pressure. And John Shoy. Here comes Telejohn. Telejohn to Collins. Just off the stick. And that's going to be forced back in by Lakeville North. Telejohn. And Collins looks to pressure. Collins back to Schuler. And that's going to be forced all the way down. No ice. Nice touch there by Schuler. And here comes Shinnick. Kept in by Esslinger. Pressured by Nelson. Back around the net. Wedman controls. Banks it back. Picked off by Lakeville North. And brought into the zone. Long shot. Gobbled up by Gallrap. Wedman. Up to Shinnick. Shinnick takes it far side. Walks across the blue line. Tried to get it over to Nelson. It's tipped and Nelson goes into battle in the corner. Up to the point. Out of the reach of Carlson. And Lakeville North grabs it. Cuts it back to the middle. Poke check by Carlson. Shinnick gets it out of the zone. Back into neutral. And that's forced back behind Gallrap by Lakeville North. Picked up by Carlson. Carlson tried to bank it off the boards to Esslinger. And Carlson comes back with a good defensive play. Shot on Gallrap. Pinched the post. Shinnick forces it back out to neutral. 10:35 left in the period. Carlson gets a piece of that one. Back behind the net. Centering pass. Esslinger cleared it out. Lakeville North controls. Back to point. Drop down below the net. Picked off by Wedman. Wedman carries it out. Wedman's just going to force it all the way down for fresh legs. And that's going to be nice. Back to the point. Shot through the slot. Turned back the other way. And it's pinched by Anand. Brigman comes in, throws her weight around. And cutting back to the middle is Lakeville North. Pressured by Tochek. Centering pass. Tochek got a piece of that. And McNee almost got a free break there, and it's offsides by Lakeville North. And here comes Ganeri back through neutral zone. Ganeri cuts it back, up to Brigman. Brigman cuts it back to the middle. Gets upended and picked off by Anand. Anand. Back to Ganeri. Ganeri pauses. Up to Tochek. Tochek right over to Brigman, over to stick, and over to stick of McNee as well. Back into the zone, Lakeville North comes, and it's forced out. Lakeville North walks it in the zone. Tip pass by Anand, or tip shot, I should say. And Brigman battles near side corner, forces it back around to Anand. A little hot to handle for Anand. And long shot. Pad save by Gullrap. Floating puck. Gullrap saw it all the way and puts a pad on it for a save. McNee, Brigman. Brigman gets picked off, and then McNee forces it deep down in Lakeville's zone. Canary goes behind net. Over to Holly. Holly. John Choi. John Choi flips it backhand looking for Telejohn just in front of her, and it's back the other way we go. Holly poke checks it. Knutson carries. Knutson collision at center ice, and it's brought in by Lakeville North. Lakeville North walks around the net, and Holly bottles her up and back to the point. Shot, and Gullrap smothers it. And Shockby looking to change a D out on this set. 7:34 left in the second period, 1-1. And shots are 7, Shockby 12, Lakeville North. John Choi, pinching defenseman, takes it away from Telejohn, and John Choi flips it out, looking for Telejohn just in front of her. Slap shot wide. Holly forces it back up the point. Over to D. Picked off by Knutson. And Knutson, here's Knutson on a breakaway. Knutson. Nice defensive play by Lakeville North. And Knutson tries to bank it back in. Held in by Schuler for a second. And it comes out of the zone. Wedman has room. Wedman up to Knutson. And that's going to be brought into the zone by Lakeville North. Wedman chips it back up to herself. Off the boards. Picked off by the defenseman and forced back into the zone. Schuler up to Knutson, and Knutson's going to rip one down for an ice and get a change. 6:11 left in the second period. It's still a 1-1 game. Nelson, Wedman turns it back. Out in front. Gullrap's going to pinch the post and get a whistle. And she'll have the face-off to the right with just over 6 minutes left in the second period. Shockby wins the face-off by Nelson. Back to the point. Oh, tipped and back to the same player and rips a shot on net. And Shinnick tries to get it out, kept in by number 14 of Lakeville North. Shoveled back to Wedman. And Wedman around to Shinnick, and Shinnick right out to Nelson, and Collins got her nose dirty there, and that's forced back. Shinnick lifts the stick, back on through. Here comes Lakeville North, a save by Eddie Gullrap. Shot off the pipe. Wedman pinching it tight. Gullrap, my apologies. Lakeville North, a little sloppy play here. Shot just wide. Picked off by Esslinger right up to McNee. McNee's going to walk it across the red line. Walk it into the zone. And fires one just wide. Esslinger battling. Circles. Fires wide. Shockley's just looking to get a shot. They need to put one on net. Tied up. Number 18 was tied up by Anand on the way in through the slot. Defenseman pinching, kept it in. And that comes out. That should have been on ice. Pad save by Gallrap. And Gennari battles. Fires just wide. Centering pass. Picked up by the defenseman. Glove save by Eddie Gallrap. Almost lost the camera. Well, welcome back. We missed the whole first period. Little technical difficulties.
Continue to happen.
Face off, won by Lakeville North. Shot tipped on the way in and kicked aside by Gallrap. Out to Telejohn. Telejohn grabs it back through the slot, gets poke checked. Back to the point. Long shot, fired wide. Shockley they need to get some rubber on this net. Toe check. That's pushed aside. That's fired around. Holly looks to get it in deep. John Choi tucked between the skates. Fired just over the net by Telejohn. That's no ice due to the fact that Gallrap had to make the save. And Lakeville North is looking to control the zone. D to D. Kicked aside by John Choi. And Holly. Holly gets it up the boards, back out to point. Long shot, tipped on the way in, didn't see the net, and it's going to be picked up by toe check. Toe check. Tried to get Telejohn, it picked up by John Choi. John Choi gets rubbed off the puck, and Lakeville North back the other way. Nelson taking a stab at it. Poked up by Knutson. Knutson looking. And that's Nelson bringing it in. Knutson was caught offside, so that's going to be a whistle. Nelson on the face-off, back to Carlson. Nelson dumps her player, picked up by Carlson. Carlson's going to go through neutral. Carlson tried to feed Knutson, got picked off, picked up by Nelson. Nelson forces it, gets turned over, and back to Wedman. Wedman's going to cross the red line, bring it in. Tried to thread it through, and hey, that's a shot on net. The tripod?
Yeah, it's not keeping the tightness.
Anand coming back hard. Anand comes back up to Brigman, and McNee carries in. McNee over to Collins. Collins just off her stick. That's going to be forced all the way down, and that's going to be nice. Nope. Wedman. Or, that's not Wedman. That's Anand takes control. Shot, pad save. Ganeri around. Looking for Collins. Back to the point. Tipped on the way in by Brigman. Chipped down by. Here comes Brigman. Brigman gets poke check. Picked up by Collins. Collins battles down near side corner. Picked off by Brigman. Brigman has room. Out to Ganeri, out of the zone, so Shockey's going to have to tag up. Ganeri. Back to Holly. Holly's going to just off a shin pad and then off, just kicks it in, and that's going to be second period. 1-1. 8 shots for 18 for Lakeville North. You got about 14 minutes. We'll see you in the third. We're live. 1-1. We got about
Waiting
a
on the
minute.
Sabers come out.
We got a minute 28 yet, so we're gonna go back on mute.
All right.
We're back live. The Sabers have entered the ice arena. 15 minutes. Yeah, 1-1. Onen gains control. Turned back by Lakeville North. Brigman battling in the corner. Poked up by Onen to McNee. McNee's turned back quickly. And Gallrap pushes it aside. McNee bounces it back off the boards to herself. Cuts back through the middle. Gains control. Gets it over to Knutson. Knutson fires one wide. And it's back to the point. Kept in by Onen. Brigman tries or Knutson. McNee, I apologize. Hard to see the numbers from here. Battles near side corner. Puck squirts out. Lakeville North's way. And dumped in deep in the Shockby zone. Picked up by Gennari. Gennari fans on it, turns it back, and tries to exit McNee's way. McNee up to Brigman. Brigman gets tangled up, and that's going to be ice. John Troy. Back, Collins blocks the shot, or blocks the pass going out of the zone, and it's back to Lakeville's way. Long shot picked up by John Troy. John Troy tries to feather it up to Collins, and it's picked up by Telejohn. Telejohn walks it into his zone, back to John Troy. John Troy fires one over the net. Shockby had numbers, and back to the point we go. Battling. And that's going to be off the Edge Tech side. Yeah. Nelson. Back to the point. Holly fires one over the left hand of the goaltender. Holly fires one off the chest protector, and back the other way we go. Offsides by a mile, not called. The net goes behind the net, picked up by Wedman. To Shinnick. Shinnick tried to punch it in, and she gets it back with the backhand. Poke check by toe check, and back to Carlson. Carlson turns it back on her backhand. She getting her back checked on the way. She still fights off the attacker and carries it into the goal line. Picked up by Brigman, turned over, and fired around. Back to the top, and here comes Lakeville North. Round toe check. Number 20 for Lakeville North brings it in. Pad save by Gallrap. Gallrap stands tall and stymies the Lakeville North player. Block shot by Carlson. Forced in by Lakeville North, and they're going to go on a change. Wedman. Battles near side corner. Banked up the boards. Here's McNee on a foot race. Lakeville North. McNee fires one backhand. And it's behind the goalie, no goal. And that squeaked through, but just not enough to get through the goal line. And it's turned back the other way. That's offsides. And a whistle's going to be blown. 10:29 left in the third. It's a 1-1 game. Shakopee's got 10 shots. Lakeville North has 19. Canary tried to get Telejon. Picked up by Knutson. Knutson fires one in, hits the ref on the way. Picked up by Lakeville North. Lakeville North entering or exiting zone. Picked off by Telejon. John Choi battling on. And back the other way we go. Poked up to Canary. Canary up to Knutson. Knutson gets her pockets picked. Back through slot. Back door. Shot. Goal. Tic-tac-toe. Lakeville North puts it past Gallrap. Not much she could do. And Lakeville North goes up by 1. 2-1 Lakeville North. John Choi rips one off a skate, and behind the net it goes. Telejon battles on. Centering pass tipped out. Schuler goes back to retrieve. Schuler fires it up to John Choi. John Choi chips it up to herself. Battle fires one on, just wide. A dribbler. And that's going to go no ice because it went through Schuler's stick. And Holly forces it back around to Knutson. Knutson fires it over to Shinnick in inner skate. Nelson picking it up. Gets taken off the puck. And Shinnick looks to come in to cause some problems. Holly Chipped up to Shinnick. Shinnick's not there. And fired off the pipe. Back to the point. Collins pressures. Collins up to Shinnick. Shinnick to Collins. Just out of her reach, and Collins goes into forecheck. Collins battles down low. Back to the point. Carlson. Up to Collins. Collins off the shoulder pad and back on through. Carlson gets dropped and then turned back the other way. Esslinger gets a skate involved. Up to Carlson. Esslinger battles far side in front of the player's bench, kicks it up to her skate. That's going to be onside. Brigman comes in to help out. And McNee tries to get one on net. That's turned back by the defenseman and back out of the zones. Anand steps up, keeps it in. Throws it down to Brigman. Shot, pad save, backhand by Esslinger was stymied. And that's going to be nice with 6:50 left in the third. Shot by Schuler, stopped halfway through, and brought out by Lakeville. Lakeville pass behind number 20, or she would have been alone. John Choi and Holly battling, back to the point. Long shot, a tad wide. Picked up, stuffed, and saved by Gallrap. A bouncing puck in front, and Gallrap comes up with a big save late in the third period. 6:22 left. Shakopee's down 2-1. Knudsen looks to force it up, and it gets turned back. Holly. Telejohn. Telejohn to picked up by Knudsen. Knudsen forces it all the way back in. Pressure by John Choi. Shinnick looks to pressure. Knudsen. Here comes Shinnick. Shinnick walks it in. Gets peeled off the puck. Collins kicks it over to Nelson. And that goes out of play. Collins back to Carlson. Carlson can't handle. Wedman to Collins. Collins tries to get it in deep, and it gets turned back. Collins finally gets it in deep and goes chases. Here comes Shinnick over top. Collins comes back. That was a terrible call, but it's a good question. So Shakopee's going to be on the penalty kill here for the next two. Then back behind the net it goes. Centering pass picked off by Schuler. Schuler up to Brigman, and Brigman's going to force it all the way in. Picked off by Anand. Anand's just going to throw it back down the ice with a minute 30 left on the penalty kill. Exiting zone is Lakeville North, and they're going to carry it into the zone. Schuler picks it up and forces it back in. Lakeville North not getting anything going here for their power play. Telejohn picks it up, throws it on down, and we're going to get fresh legs. 3:46 left in the third period. 50 seconds left on the penalty kill. Picked off by McNee. Knutson carries. Knutson has room. He's just going to throw it on down and looks to pressure. Banked around the boards. Kept in by McNee. And out of the zone. Here we go. Number 18. Golrap with another stone cold save. And on the rebound, she also put her shoulder in and got another save. Two save rally there for Lakeville North. And Golrap stands tall to keep this one a close one. 3 minutes left in the period. And the penalty kill is about to end as Collins exits the penalty box. Picked off. Back the other way we go. Lakeville North fires one. Waffled aside by Golrap. Shinnick tips that one out of the zone. And Lakeville North gains control and forces it back into the Shakopee zone. Wedman kicks it up to her skates, from her skates, and tries to get it out, and it turned back. Lakeville North controls back to the point. Shot tipped by Shinnick. Shinnick to Knutson. Just off the tape. Knutson battles near side. Picked up by Carlson a minute 43. Carlson walks it out of the zone, gets tripped up, and they're going to call it. Shakopee going to go on the power play for the rest of the third period. There's a minute 36 left. Let's see if the coach is going to pull the goaltender here and go 6-on-4. We'll make it interesting. Last minute 36. Shakopee's down by one. They look to take a timeout. And here we go. We'll be back in about a minute and a half. Oh! McNee takes one off the pipe. And Shockby's got the pressure. That's thrown all the way down. Does it have it? Does it? Yeah, it's going to be a goal. An empty netter. And Shockby's going to go down by 2. .126 left in the third. And up to Shinnick. John Shoy pokes it up to herself. And it's turned back the other way. It's going to be forced in deep. Steered aside by Gallrep. Schuler up to Shinnick. Over to Wedman. Back to the point. And out of the zone we go. Shinnick up to Wedman. Wedman to McNee. McNee gets bottled up and is turned back and forced back up. And Lakeville North's on a foot race. Shot, and that's going to go in. And Shockby is going to go down 4-1 with 21 seconds left in the game. And it looks a lot worse than it was. It was a close game. Shockby 12 shots on net. Lakeville North 25. That's going to be forced all the way down. No ice. Picked up by Gennari. Gennari up to Collins. Collins tries to get it Knutson over the stick, and it's going to be carried back in. And that's going to do it. Shockby fell 4-1. We'll see you next time.